Hello and welcome to the CRIB Child Rights in Business podcast by the Centre for Child Rights and Business. In episode 7, we bring you a conversation recorded live at this year's Colombo Tea Convention. Our CEO, Ines Kaempfer, sits down with Dr. Ebrahim Afshar, Managing Director of Ahmad Tea, to discuss a critical issue: ensuring fair wages for tea workers. They explore how Ahmad Tea is planning to challenge the status quo, pushing for tea prices that truly benefit the farmers, and encouraging consumers to support products that meet living wage criteria. Dr. Afshar also introduces a new initiative focused on making direct digital payments to tea pluckers, an important step towards giving fair wages to tea workers. Now, let's dive into the conversation.
Hi everyone, we are still here at the Colombo Tea Convention, and this time I'm sitting here with Dr. Afshar, the Managing Director of Ahmad Tea, who nicely volunteered after I think a very long week. It's Friday now, a very long week here at the convention, to sit down for a couple of minutes with us and have a chat about some of the challenges but also opportunities in the tea sector here in Sri Lanka. Dr. Afshar, if you wouldn't mind, if you just can quickly introduce yourself in just a few sentences, your company.
My name is Ebrahim Afshar. I'm a Managing Director of Ahmad Tea Company. It's a family company, and it was the first job I had. I was in the university, then went to help the family, and before I know it, I got stuck there. And already more than 30 years I have been in the company, dealing with various aspects, going from engineering, technical director, as well as the export director, sales, marketing, and eventually I got my initial degree was in engineering, master is control, but when it comes to PhD, became business and marketing.
And can you maybe, to the coffee drinkers out there, tell a little bit about Ahmad Tea?
For the coffee drinker?
No, just the people who don't know you.
Basically, the Ahmad Tea stems from is a family, and it's about quality tea. But we would like to think it's very exclusive, the world's most exclusive tea. That's how we started. The slogan was. Gradually, we realized we have to operate above the mass market in order to generate volume, and we have to make the quality somewhat manageable in terms of price by the consumer. And I think generally as a brand, we have a very loyal base of consumer, and over the years, our approach to our business has been partially selling the tea, but we done a lot of also charity, and our customers also get involved in our charities or responsible thing rather than charity. You know, there's so many names now: CSR, charity, sustainability, but actually doing the right thing.
Exactly, doing the right thing. And that was also a little bit your topic here at the Tea Convention. So yesterday you had a very interesting contribution, and you talked about getting the right price for doing the right thing, but you also talked about that this then should somehow help the tea sector to provide living wages for its workers. Can you talk a little bit more about your ideas, but also how Ahmad Tea wants to work towards this idea?
I think the reality is when there are money around, but the way our system is set up in terms of economic system, the planters, the farmers, they don't get enough, simply because there's a heavy competition between the brands. There's a heavy competition in the supermarkets between each other. Supermarket forces you to give discount, and through that, gradually you realize you lost your margins, you're losing your profit. So what you're going to do, you're going to put pressure down the line on your supplier to sell things to you cheaper, and they will push it down the line, eventually get to the tea auctions, and pressure goes there, and only lower price tea can be purchased. But the idea we had, this is not right. I can see the logic, but is everybody being checkmate? But nowadays, thanks to the world of digital and the young consumer, when I say young consumer, I don't mean bunch of teenager, group of teenager. I mean actually anybody which got access to the smartphone. Those consumer, those intelligent, those who serve, those who make choices, especially in certain countries, they want to know where this product is coming from. And they are beginning, some of them care more about the route, about if the people being paid. So the idea I had, okay, rather than try to negotiate with supermarkets or talk between the brands, etc., let's go to the consumer and let's ask them to maybe choose product which meets the living wage criteria. And I think if they know how little more they have to pay for their tea bags in order to fill up this living wage gap, they probably will be, not only they will be paying it, I think they will be surprised why it hasn't been done before. And that pressure is a good pressure to have on a system to be slightly realigned. So it's ironically, if you're talking about the top of the pyramid and bottom of the pyramid, of course, everybody thinks they are the top of the pyramid, but actually, top of the pyramid is the customer, which is king. And we are kind of saying best way is to just go straight from the top of the pyramid to the bottom of the pyramid and short circuit it and let them understand what's happening and why they need to be involved to correct it. And there's no fight here, there's all collaboration, but the economical system has now made it difficult for us to do any other way. That was the idea. It wasn't really meant to be a planting a seed, but it seems to be a number of people are interested and kind of I'm hoping to be able to push it forward.
Absolutely. I think it's a very nice seed to plant, and as we can see, there is, I think, in this time, the chance that this will fall on open ears, also because of, as I talked a little bit about today as well, because of the legal frameworks in Europe that are actually pushing companies to reflect on their pricing mechanisms, and pushing the European companies to reflect on that and to really understand the impact that potentially the low pricing in supermarkets has down the value chain, has for the producers. And so I think these ideas of really linking pricing to living wage is something that will hopefully, and obviously from our side, from the center, we've been pushing this for quite a while, that this will take traction. Do you think the buyers that, or the customers that you work with, but also the end consumers will appreciate this idea? Do you think it will fall on open ears?
See, the target, if it depends where is the target. If the target which I put, Western Europe, Northern Europe, possibly some USA, then definitely yes. But if you look at the rest of the world, there are now pockets of consumer coming, whether they will be in Czech Republic, whether they will be in Croatia, they will be maybe in Middle East, Japan. Yeah, those pockets are coming out. And also the certain supermarkets wants to break rank and say, look, I can't fight with big discounters. I need to also attract the consumer of the certain mindset. For those supermarkets, they will be on board. See, I'm probably maybe old-fashioned drink. I always believe, and I think the family is the same. When you do something which your heart says is the right thing to do, and you believe it, then always God helps you to make it happen. But it should be without any bias, without any personal gain, commercial gain. You're doing it for the right thing. And I'm glad to say most of our work that we've done in charity, because it was pure without any benefit, we were not looking for any benefit, it actually went much more higher than our expectation, which is nice. But then if somebody else is driving this agenda and we are just a kind of a soldier on the ground voicing it. But it gives us energy.
That's a very nice thought, and actually just goes into the next question I did want to ask you. So, while the living wages, obviously, that's a kind of future ambition, but I know that Ahmad Tea has done a lot of investments already now, or does make a lot of investments today. So, can you tell the audience a little bit about the practices that you're already putting in place to ensure that the tea that you produce is more ethically produced, that you give back to the grower communities, etc.?
When it comes to the tea side, because we buy a lot of from auctions and our activity is kind of limited. But now, for example, this year, we start doing some direct digital payment to some producers in Assam, to the tea pluckers, and also Kenya, and now we are working on Sri Lanka as well. So that was started about 3 months ago. And I think it's ironic that already opened our mind from my proposal, that now my proposal can be more practical because I know those digital payment can be done directly to the tea workers. In terms of how much we have helped, I'm not sure I can say huge amount, maybe some food distribution during the hard time in the last few years when there was COVID here and there. Of course, we built the cancer hospital, the Razavi complex, which is everybody is using it. And of course, also as a company, we export to about 80 countries, 85, and we have a lot of other projects in different countries as well. So, unlike before that you do a charity or CSR project and you walk away, some of those things just carries on because of the hardship, which we are feeling.
Absolutely. And I love that you point this out, the importance of sustainability, which I think is something we always discuss with companies. Don't do something that is nice for 3 months. Do something that works, that somehow has a business model or business sense in itself and can continue, that is long-term financing, etc. You've been very humble. I know your company has been doing a lot, but thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your ideas. And from our side of the Center for Child Rights in Business, I can just say that we definitely want to, wherever we can, support this idea and proposition of yours of finding ways to make sure that we get the right price and that this goes back right to the workers on the tea fields, or to obviously beyond tea, to the people who produce our goods. So thank you so much.
Thanks, it's my pleasure, and I wish you all the best, and like actually to thank you for the work that you are doing.
Thank you so much. Okay. I actually do think it's our responsibility because we benefit a lot from this part of the world. But thank you very much.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the CRIB Child Rights in Business podcast. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Dr. Ebrahim Afshar. We'll be back again in 2 weeks with another episode, so be sure to tune in then. In the meantime, you can learn more about our work and initiatives by visiting our website at www.childrights-business.org. Until next time, take care.